Welcome to our channel Bio by Gulab Sir for Wisdom Coaching Center. As a part of series of lectures, today's topics are pollen pistil interaction, egg apparatus and filiform apparatus. As we had already discussed about development of male gametophyte, development of female gametophyte, double fertilization and development of embryo. But in support of these, that double fertilization and development of embryo, the three important subtopics are egg apparatus, filiform apparatus, and pollen pistil interaction. As these are in support of that double fertilization. What is egg apparatus exactly? This is a embryo sac with egg cell and two synergids, polar nuclei, antipodal cells. All these are haploid, can be called as female gametophyte. These are the outer and inner integument, and this is a microphylar end. This is a micropyle. This is charaza, and outer integument, inner integument. This egg cell and synergids and egg cell. These two synergids and one egg cell together, two synergids and one egg cell together form egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. Once again, what is egg apparatus? Two synergids and egg cell together constitute egg apparatus. So question can be asked, what are egg apparatus and filiform apparatus? So egg apparatus is the composition of two synergids and egg cell. What is filiform apparatus? Same, but here it has these are the two synergids with these cytoplasmic processes. These cytoplasmic finger-like processes called cellulosic processes, cytoplasmic finger-like cellulosic processes called filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. What is the function of this filiform apparatus? That they guide. So once again, these are the outer and inner integument. When pollen tube reach to the micropylar end, this filiform apparatus guide this pollen tube. Filiform apparatus guide this pollen tube. So see the pollen tube. This pollen tube get burst, this guide, and release the pollen male gametes. So synergids receive pollen tube, that filiform apparatus guide pollen tube, receive pollen tube, guide through synergids and releases two male gamete. One male gamete fuse with egg nucleus and another male gamete fuse with polar nuclei. So here these are polar nuclei 1 and 2. So these male gamete, one fuse with egg cell, another that release fuse with a polar nuclei. So finally the function of the filiform apparatus is to receive the pollen tube, allow to burst the pollen tube, release the male nuclei and allow that one male gamete to fuse with egg nucleus and another male gamete to fuse with polar nuclei, and thus the function of the filiform apparatus is to have the double fertilization. So here this is egg apparatus, 2 synergies plus egg cell form egg apparatus, and here these finger-like projections, cytoplasmic finger-like projections, cellulosic finger-like projections of this egg around this egg cell are called filiform apparatus. Now, pollen pistil interaction is very important point that can be discussed here itself. So, see, this is a stigma, style and ovary. Pollen grain when fall on the stigma, out of many pollen grain, only one pollen grain can develop pollen tube through vegetative nucleus and 2 male nuclei. So here to understand, anatropous ovule, as usual it is shown in book. So this is anatropous ovule and a pollen tube which pass through style and reach to the micropylar end, where along with vegetative 2 male nuclei that released, and so finally these 2 male nuclei, one male nucleus fused with egg cell, another male nucleus fused with polar nuclei. So here these are the 2 polar nuclei. So in pollen pistil interaction, pollen belong to same species only allowed to develop the pollen tube. Pollen grain belong to non-self, won't allow to develop the pollen tube. It is because of biochemical dialogue between pollen grain and stigma. Stigma is receptive to the pollen grain belong to the same species. Otherwise, it won't allow to develop the pollen tube. That means that chemistry, that chemical substances of pollen grain are being recognized by the chemical substances of the pistil. This is known as biochemical interaction between pollen grain and pistils, so as to allow to develop the pollen tube and pass through style to the micropylar end to release the male nuclei for the fusion of one male gamete with egg cell and another male gamete with polar nuclei. This is known as double fertilization. So here we learn these 3 short phenomenons, one egg apparatus, another filiform apparatus, and third pollen pistil interaction. Here we have these diagrams available on net that showing egg apparatus with those 2 synergids showing these finger-like projections. These finger-like projections, as already we discussed, are known as filiform apparatus, as they guide pollen tube through synergids as well as to release the male nuclei. Here is also very clearly shown this finger-like projection of synergids to which called as a filiform apparatus. And here pollen pistil interaction. See, out of many pollen grain, only one pollen grain have complete development of pollen tube so as to carry male nuclei and have the double fertilization. So here only pollen grain belong to same species, only allow to germinate pollen tube and pass through style. Otherwise, pollen grain belong to another species, won't allow to develop the pollen tube, that is known as pollen pistil interaction. And yes, this is a biochemical dialogue between pollen grain and pistil. So question can be asked, what is pollen pistil interaction? It is the selfing or belonging that pollen grain of the same species is recognized by the stigma. Stigma become receptive for the cell pollen grain and allow to develop the pollen tube. Otherwise, pollen grain belong to another species will not allow to develop the pollen tube. This is known as pollen pistil interaction. And question can be asked in board, what are filiform apparatus and egg apparatus, as well as write short note on pollen pistil interaction. I hope you did understand this short video with this short explanation. Please practice this diagram so as question can be asked, draw and show pollen pistil interaction or egg apparatus. Question can be asked in NEET by giving ABCD name and will be asked, suppose this is labeled by A. Labeled A in diagram is ABCD. So can be asked as a filiform apparatus, egg apparatus, polar nuclei or male gamete, female gamete. Whatever option would be given. Yeah, cytoplasmic finger-like projection present in the female gamete of head are or is naturally filiform apparatus. So question can be asked. So Here we end these subtopics of egg apparatus, filiform apparatus, and pollen pistil attraction. I hope you did understand. Even if you are in doubt, you can ask in comment section. I appeal you to subscribe and like our channel, as well as press bell icon so as to receive new videos as and when they are uploaded. Thank you.